This is a continuation of the Colors Table View challenge solution. One of the extensions to the challenge that was mentioned that you should give a try but was not required is setting the background color of each table view cell to the color whose name appears in the cell. To do this, we need for each cell the name of the color as well as the UI color that is to be the background color of the cell. So for red, we need to know the name of the color red, and then we need to know the UI color, which is UIColor.red. To hold the name and the color together, we're going to use a struct, and then we're going to create an array of the struct instances so that we have an array of not just color names, but we'll have an array of color structs that'll have both the name and the UI color in it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create a definition of the struct that will hold the name of the color as well as its UI color. So I'm going to select the colors folder, hold the control key down and click and select new file. I'm then going to create an iOS Swift file, not a Cocoa Touch class because we're not going to subclass from anything. We're going to define our own struct called color. So it's an iOS Swift file. Hit next. And the tradition here is to name the Swift file for what it contains. So we're going to have a color struct in it. So I'm going to call this file color.swift and add it to my project. And color Swift is an almost blank Swift file. It has some comments. It also has import foundation. I'm going to change the import foundation to import UI kit. And I'm needing to do that because the color struct that I'm going to create is going to have a constant in it that's of type UI color, and that is defined in UI kit. So I've written here struct color, and I now need to create the properties for this struct. The first one is going to be name, and it's going to be a string. And since I don't want these to change once I create them, I'm going to make them constants in the struct. So I'm going to say let name, and it's going to be a string. And then I'm going to say let UI color, and it's going to be of type UI color. Now, this struct does not need an init because structs give us automatically member-wise initializers. So we can create instances of the color struct without an init. It has a default init, like I said, a member-wise initializer already there for us. So I'm going to save this struct in Color Swift, and then I'm going back to the Colors View controller, and I'm going to comment out what we had before for the array of colors, and I'm now going to create another array of colors. So it's an array, it's in brackets, but what it's going to contain is a set of color struct instances. So if I say color parentheses, I can create a color instance, but I need to supply it with the name and the UI color. So we're going to have here name. The first one is going to be called red, and then the UI color is going to be UIColor.red. So this is going to create a struct instance for red that contains the name and the UI color. So now I need to continue to do this for the rest of the colors. So now I have my array of color instances. I still am going to return colors.count to indicate the number of colors that I have. But now down in table view, cell for row at index path, instead of going to just colors and then to a particular row in colors, I'm going to do that. That's going to get me a particular color, but then I need to take the additional step of accessing the particular property from the structure that I get out of the colors array. Remember, each item in the colors array is a color struct instance. So when I get a particular color out of the colors array, I am retrieving one of the instances. So for example, if I go to color 0, I'm going to retrieve this instance so that the .name property would be red and the .ui color property would be UI color.red. So colors is my array, and I'm indexing to a particular row, giving me an instance of a color, and then that particular instance has a property name, which will be what we set as the text on the text label. Now the cell's background color is at cell.background color, and the particular background color will come from colors index path dot row, and then instead of .name, we're going to say .ui color. If I run this, then the background color matches the color displayed in the cell. Another approach that I could take here, because I'm indexing into the colors array twice, is to get a particular color out by saying let color equals colors index path dot row. So this gives us a particular color, and then we can say down here color.name and color.ui color. This way we're only indexing into the array once. We pull out the particular color struct instance, and then we use it to get the name and the UI color that sets the text and the text label and the background color. Let me run this one more time to make sure that it works correctly. And then finally, I'm going to commit this on GitHub. So I'm going to push to remote to the master branch, and I'm going to say added color struct and set background color on cells.